a seated grounding meditation. From there, we'll move into some asana, some yoga postures, like I said, functional movement, lymphatic shaking, and then we'll end with a nice long Savasana final relaxation pose, which will be a reclining guided meditation with some Tibetan singing bowls. And yeah, what you'll need for class today is a mat or a towel or some kind of surface for your knees and wrists. I'll roll my mat up. If you have a carpet, honestly, it's kind of enough. But I'll roll my mat up real quick. You might grab a block or a blanket to sit on. Or if you have yoga blocks, I don't, but if you do, I'll grab them too and just place them at the edge of your mat, like at the front end of your mat, so they're easily accessed later on. It might come in handy. All right, we'll start this class as we always do with 3 cleansing breaths. So everything that I lead you through is an invitation. Don't feel any type of way about how it looks. I'm more interested in, and I invite you to be more interested in how it feels. So I want to be opening up some new spaces in the body. Uncomfortable is good. Discomfort is good. It's an exploration. Pain is just completely unnecessary. No need to go there. And so be kind to yourself. It's not a dance routine. Go at your own pace. We'll come to seat. Sit up nice and tall. Heart comes over hips. Head over heart. Hands come to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down or palms up to give and receive energy if you feel you've got a little extra to give today. Eyes can close if that's comfortable for you, or they can stay open at a soft gaze just beyond your legs, not looking at anything in particular. 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, shoulders rise up towards the ears. And exhaling with an audible sigh, just allow the shoulders to drop down heavy. And allow the breathing to continue just in and out through the nose if that's available. Returning to a natural pace. And we'll take a moment here to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that's to come up after. And become present to yourself here in this moment, here in this space. And begin to allow sounds into your awareness. And perhaps the sound of birds singing out the window. Passing traffic. Maybe the ticking of a clock or hum of a light within your home. Letting all sounds in, all part of this moment, this experience. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And feel the weight where your body makes contact with the ground below you. Where your hands way down on your knees. And begin to scan your body from head down towards toes, checking in for any places of tightness or sensitivity, any restlessness or fidgeting. And taking note to work into these spaces that call out for your attention throughout your practice here today. We'll shift that awareness from the body, Annamaya Kosha, up to the energetic and breath level, Pranamaya Kosha. Noticing on a scale of 1 to 10 where you're at energetically. 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready to crawl into bed. 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. Bring that awareness to the breath. No need to change it, just observe inhalations, exhalations, and whatever space in between. And we'll shift that awareness from the breath up to the mind, allowing thoughts and feelings to arise freely. But no need to engage, just observe these thoughts and feelings from a distance, like a movie being projected onto a screen. The storyline goes on without your direct input. And just notice, what are the quality of the thoughts today? Do they have a positive or a negative tilt to them? Are they reminiscing on the past or attempting to predict the future? Not good or bad, not right or wrong, just something to notice. And we'll bring the attention back down to the breath. This time actively expanding the breath. Every inhale sips in a little more air. And every exhale lets something more go. Inhaling, belly fills, expanding, inflating, ribs expanding, inflating. And exhale, ribs zip in, belly pulls in. We're inhaling and exhaling through the nose here. We're trying to take the breath out of the shoulders. They just stay relaxed. Staying up nice and tall. They actually slightly pull back to keep that nice tall posture. We're just focusing on breathing air into the belly and the ribs. And here we'll add our pranayama, our breathing technique that we'll be working on this month in March. It's called Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breath, but it's known as ocean sounding breath. So jaws relax, space between the teeth, tongue falls away from the mouth, in and out through the nose. It's as if you're trying to fog up a mirror just in front of your face through your nose. So you should be able to hear your own breath. Imagine if you were in a yoga studio, you'd be able to hear the person next to you's breath, and they'd be able to hear yours. That's the amount of sound kind of being generated from this slight constriction in the throat. And if the mind wanders, bring it back to the breath, back to the throat, back to the belly, expanding and contracting. And on your next exhale, no rush to get there, just releasing any constriction from the throat, any effort from the breath, returning to a natural pace, perhaps affected by that pranayama, by that ujjayi breath. We'll invite our hands to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra, no space between the fingers and the thumbs pressed into the sternum. Consider here setting an intention or a dedication for your practice here today. It might be the sankalpa, the heart's desire you've been working with all year, your New Year's resolution, or something new might have inspired you to come to your mat today. The invitation is just to set that intention in the affirmative and the present tense. For example, if you're trying to be more mindful or overcome some circumstances in your life, your intention today might sound something like, I flow through life with ease and grace. And we'll seal that intention with the sound of Om. You're invited to chant with me. First, a cleansing breath. Allow your hands to release to your lap, chin drops towards chest. And on an inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin to chest, and left ear towards left shoulder. Good morning, Greg. Let me catch up on chat. Double check if that worked. Don't worry about taking the focus off the meditation. Appreciated. Yes, I love you all. I see you when you're dropping in chat during meditations. We're just letting the head roll side to side here. But I promise I'll always get to you when I get to the next move and have a chance to check the chat. Greg, I won't say your last name, but yes, received. Thank you. Appreciated. I'll send you the link to the recording of class after this class, or after it's been rendered and all of that. I appreciate you. And everyone who tips, honestly, makes a big difference. It's a big help in my life. It's very encouraging too, I'll be honest. Having you guys here is very encouraging. The next time the head rolls through center, we'll bring it up to neutral and just begin to roll the shoulders forward. Oh, I think I missed even more. Oh no, good morning. Yes, working a decent bit lower energy. Yes, it worked. Thank you, Greg. Awesome. Cool. All right, I caught up. So we're just rolling the shoulders here. How are you doing today? Feeling good? Swiss, good morning. Welcome in. I like your little hula girl. Very cute. And hello, good morning, Facebook. Hello, my loves. It doesn't tell me your names. I think Alex is in here. Hello. And right now I'm speaking to people on Twitch chat. That's why if you're like, who is she talking to? That's who I'm talking to. Aloha. And then we're going to roll the shoulders back. So we're just warming up the upper back, space between the shoulder blades, the neck, the trapezius muscle, and the chest as well. Aloha, friend. Awesome. Coming to stillness in the shoulders. We'll inhale, arms sweep up overhead. This is not what I wanted to happen. Just try it that way. And exhale, bending over to the right. Left arm reaches over. Inhale up through center. And exhale over to the left. So you can even still have your eyes closed for this, honestly. We're just connecting, calibrating the body with the breath. Beginning to open up the side body now, this lateral bend, the intercostal muscle space between the ribs. We've got one more to each side. We're keeping both hips glued to the ground at each point here. Don't let your hips pop up. Back up through center. And exhale, we twist over to the right. Left hand lands on right knee, right hand lands behind you, and chest opens to the side wall. Inhale, back up through center. And exhale to the left. Following the breath into center. Out to twist. in center, out, twist. Once more to each side. So we did a bunch of spinal health work yesterday. So you just want to observe how these postures feel today, these movements feel today in comparison. All right, is that better, worse, good, or bad? I just want to see if that's had an effect, right? And hands release down. Actually, let's bring the hands towards the ears and just give it a wave out. Then palms flip down, fingers wiggle side to side. So we're just warming up the hands, all the ligaments, tendons, and muscles within them before we put any weight on them. So I'm not moving my elbows or my shoulders, just my hands are moving. And then palms flip open to the sky. Fingers spread wide. And then giving it a wave side to side. Spotify. Okay. So this is also undoing a lot of the repetitive movements that we do all day, all that texting and typing and writing and drawing, all those little movements that can lead to carpal tunnel and other hand issues later on. Just kind of undoing that. And then a gentle shake off, just like you're shaking off water. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So we'll work on some neck mobility here. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing, but you can stay facing forward. Chin tucks down towards chest, still seated up tall on the spine. We bring the head down, forward, up, back, and chin tucks in towards chest. So I'm leading with the nose, making a circle with the nose here to smooth out this movement. Keep it slow and smooth and keep the breath strong. When the mind wanders, bring it back to the breath, back to the body. Really trying to get to the very far edges of your range of motion. And then we're going to change directions and begin leading with the chin. This next neck exercise always feels so good on my back. Oh, good, I'm glad. Yeah, this changed my life. My friend Rome taught it to me. So chin comes forward, down, and he's really big on functional movement and primal movements and all of that. So we have a lot of fun together, just learning new patterns, body patterns. But this really helped me last year. I was getting some gnarly migraines from my neck pain. This is one of the techniques he showed me. That's why I like sharing it with other people. I'm like, yeah, everyone should know about this. It's so simple. But it really builds up your awareness of all these little muscles and bones in the cervical spine. Just bring it back to center. Let the head drop left and right, just left ear towards shoulder, or ears towards shoulder, just a little free movement. All right, let's bring the legs out in front. Spread and scrunch the toes. Roll out the ankles. change directions. We're just waking up the lower legs. Oh, so Greg, I know you're in a chair. How does next Thursday sound? So a week from today for chair yoga. So Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. We can do a chair yoga special. So at the same time, like we won't do something, we'll just, like this time slot in a week from today. Sounds great. Okay, cool. I'll start them. I will spread the word. I'm excited. Cool. So let's bend in the knees. Feet come flat onto the ground. Knees nice and wide, and just allow them to drop side to side. Just allowing the hips to kind of wake up. Right? Better? Yes. Okay. So we're just allowing the knees to fall side to side, hips to gently wake up. And the next time they fall over to the right, hands will come down to frame the right knee, and we'll press it into our tabletop pose. It's underneath the shoulders. There we go. Okay. And here we'll work on our wrist push-ups, if you will. So we're lifting the palms off the ground. The fingers stay on the ground, they don't leave. Lifting. So we're not using any momentum at all. We're just using forearm and hand strength. So we're just working up to 10. If you know you can do 10 easily, you can bring your knees back a little further. I can't do them from there. And if you can do 10 easily from here, you can tuck the toes under and come into a plank and start doing those. But go back 5. Here's a good place to start. There's no rush to get anywhere, because I'm sure even after you can do 10 in like a regular push-up, then you could just be working towards 20, right? So there's no rush to get anywhere, because there's just always more, especially in yoga, there's just always more. It's always a more complicated, more advanced pose. It doesn't mean it's better. Like wherever you are is exactly where you're meant to be. 3, 2, 1. Toes tuck under, hips press back. Let's come to sit on the heels, fingers interlace, and we'll roll out. We'll roll out the wrists. Yes, that's like really challenging. So good work. If you even got one in there, it's like a super win. Super win. So just a little wrist floss, a little shake out. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let's bring this a little closer. All right, back to our tabletop pose. That husky fur. That works. So you're gonna send the hips back for almost like a child's pose. Hips touch down towards the heels. Hands come forward. So I'm reaching forward, pressing into the ground with my hands so hard that my elbows stay lifted. And then exhaling through cat pose, rounding in the spine until my hips come down for a little cobra. With the back arched, I reach it all the way back towards child's. So once again, we're making a circle with the spine. Exhaling through cat, rounding in the spine, bringing it all the way forward. To cobra, you can soften the elbows. Don't have to straighten them out or anything like that. We're just waking up the lower back here. And press it back. This is all an inhale in with the arch in the spine. To child's. So we're going to start smoothing that movement out. begin to calibrate to your own breath. So the speed of your body is informed by the length of your breath. One more like this. And then once I'm back here in this like child's pose, I'm going to do some hip circles here. So clockwise, we're just bringing the hips over to the left, forward, right, and back. It might be backwards on the screen for you, but you get the idea. Imagine there's like a laser pointing out of your belly button and you're drawing a circle on the floor. So now we're just letting the hips kind of warm up here, and the knees can be close together or far apart, whichever feels better for you. So just a little free exploratory movement this morning. Let's change direction. So whatever hip led last time, now you're going the other direction. And we're back to the middle. Back to tabletop pose. And let's bring the right foot forward, left foot forward, and heel toe the feet out to the edges of the mat. Here, bend the knees nice and deep, sinking the hips heavy, head comes light, so heavy hips, light head, squat, malasana, and then light hips, heavy head, forward fold, uttanasana. So we're not in either pose for very long, we're just kind of going from one to the other, one to the other. It's beginning to wake up the backs of the legs. And the next time you're up in this forward fold, this wide-legged forward, not even wide-legged, but like, yeah, forward fold, with the light hips light and the head heavy. You can give the head a nod yes, and let your knees be bent a little or a lot. You can even almost rest your belly on your thighs here if that's more comfortable. Let the head be heavy, giving it a nod yes. Give it a shake no. You can grab opposite elbows to create a frame for the head and give yourself a sway side to side. Again, bob forward and back. Really some free movement here once again for ragdoll pose. And bring it back to center. Back to stillness. Release the hands down to the mat, heel toe the feet together. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins, crown of the head towards the front of the room. Still the gaze is down, tailbone towards the back of the room like you're making the number 7 with your body. Deep breath in here. Exhale, forward fold. So the knees can be bent here. You can even leave a little micro bend in them or a deep bend if that's better. And then we're going to roll it all the way up. Legs straighten out and we roll up one vertebra at a time. Heavy head comes up last. And arms sweep up when you get there. Exhaling the hands to heart center. Better. Better. All right, Tadasana mountain pose. Right knee bends and pulls in towards the belly. one-legged Tadasana. Taking a deep breath in here. Exhale, we hinge on the left hip. So head comes forward. Head comes over. Obviously, I haven't done anything with this dresser yet, guys. But, you know, we're just being honest here. So, heavy head comes forward. As we hinge on the hips and the leg comes back like a seesaw. Extend the right leg back. And then notice the hips, square them. The right hip's going to want to pop up, but instead, we keep it in alignment with the left hip, facing down, toes are facing down towards the floor. Gaze is down towards the floor as well. The hands can still be pressed in towards one another in prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. And we're breathing here in Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3, like making the letter T with the body. We bend in the left knee to float the right foot down for a high lunge. And then notice here, I landed kind of like on a balance beam, so I'm just going to walk the left foot out to the left a bit, readjust the back leg. I'm pressing through that back heel like it's going to touch the floor. It's not, because I'm keeping this knee over the ankle. And I press the back of the knee towards the ceiling to get a stretch on my front right thigh. If this is causing pain to your lower back, you can't get your shoulders up over your hips, you're like here, can't get up, then bend in the back knee to bring the shoulders up over the hips. Arms come up overhead, deep breath in, and exhale, hands interlace behind the head, thumbs release to kind of cradle the back of your neck. And as we tilt the head back, tilt the chest up, the head presses into the hands and the hands press back into the head. We use that leverage to press the elbows open, and still the legs are strong. My left hip's pressing back, right hip's pressing forward, so it's like scissoring in towards one another type energy, type action that's keeping my legs strong and from wobbling everywhere. They're the foundation holding this whole pose together. So here my chest is lifting towards the sky, my head's pressing into the hands are pressing back. I'm letting my elbows really open up for a nice shoulder stretch for another deep breath here. And release the head back through center, release the arms, and exhale to a high twist to the left. So I'm reaching right hand forward, left hand back. And then like a half cartwheel, I'm going to release the right hand to the ground inside the left foot. Left arm comes up overhead. So my arms are reaching just straight out from one another, like 180 degrees, just like they were before. And another deep breath here. And then we'll release the left hand down to the mat. Heel toe the left foot over towards the right hip and drop the left knee behind the left wrist. I'm going to tiptoe the right foot back, back, back. We're setting up for pigeon pose here, and then toes point straight back behind you. So this front left thigh is parallel to the long edge of the mat. You can see it's like a little dark. Yeah, and the left heel is close to my right hip. So I'm trying to bring my hips square to the ground. I'm not sitting down on this left butt cheek. I'm trying to get my front hips towards the ground here. Hands walk back to the sides. Nice, tall, proud pigeon pose it's called. And the shoulder blades pull together. So it's very dramatic. It's like there's like a deep back bend here as we take a deep breath in. And exhale, wave forward. Belly, chest, head, all reaching forward towards the wall in front of you. Eventually releasing down for your folded pigeon, Ekapada Konasana. folded pigeon pose. Finding a place for the head to rest. It can be on stacked fists, a block, or a stack of books works too. Anywhere so that you don't feel like you're doing an eternal push-up. So your shoulders shouldn't be doing the work here. We're focusing all of the energy, all of the breath in this left thigh, this left leg, this left hip. You might feel it in your lower back as well. We're breathing in and out through the nose, if that's available for you. Keeping it slow. This is a nice place to bring up that Ujjayi pranayama, that victorious breath. Keeping the breath slow and strong and intentional. We'll press our hands into the ground to come back up to seated. Allow her back upright. Let yourself sit down onto this left butt cheek. And we'll come to seated with the right leg extended out. Let your left knee just splay open. Foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. We're seated up nice and tall here. Take a deep breath in to get tall. And exhale, forward fold. Once again, belly, chest, head is leading you forward. For a nice stretch on the back of this right leg. So I'm really flexing through the foot, pressing my heel away, bringing the toes in towards my face to try to get the back of this knee towards the floor. It doesn't touch the floor. I'm not that double jointed or anything like that, but I'm pressing towards it. It's not so much that the goal is to get the head to the head to the floor or the knee to the floor or anything like that. It's just that's the direction of the energy, the direction of the posture. And then notice your left shoulder is going to want to pop up here. And just bring it down in alignment with the right. So both of my shoulders are the same distance from the ground. So I'm trying to bring my chest to the ground, not my hands to my feet. It doesn't really matter where the hands go. The hands aren't getting a stretch here. Focus more so on the legs and your back. Last breath here, Janu Shirshasana. And bring it back up to seated. Bring the left foot to the outside of the right knee. I'm just going to turn so you can see better. Left hand comes to the ground, close to your lower back. Right arm sweeps up on an inhale. And exhale, hook the elbow with the knee, or maybe hug the knee with the arm. Whichever one kind of works for you. I prefer hooking, elbow with the knee, and then use that leverage to pull the left shoulder back. So I'm opening my chest towards the long end of the mat, using this elbow against knee resistance to help twist, and using this hand into ground resistance to stay tall. Like there's a string pulling me up from the crown of my head towards the sky. Inhale for space, and exhale to deepen the twist. It doesn't have to be dramatic. You might not even see it, but you can feel it. Exhaling, like bringing out a sponge, gives you a little bit more space for the twist. Bring it back through center. So let's see, we're facing the back here. All right, let's uncross this left leg. Bring both legs out. Rather, bend both knees. Just drop the knees to the right. Let's just go path of least resistance. Back to tabletop pose. Toes tuck under, hips press up high for downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide. Feet at least about a foot apart. And here, just notice the spacing. The further your feet are from your hands, the deeper the stretch in the shoulders. The closer your feet are to your hands, the deeper the stretch in the legs. So I'm going to find a nice place in the middle where both are getting some benefit here. Head is heavy, heels are heavy. Even if they don't touch the ground, that's the direction they're reaching. Hips are reaching up and back. as if they're going to touch where the back wall meets the ceiling. Full breathing here. We're creating a nice long line of energy here in downward facing dog. So from the wrist all the way up to the hip, there's this nice long line. We're letting the head hang heavy between it. If you're here and you have this like angle where the shoulder, you can't drop the chest heavier. You can try bending the knees and then sending the belly towards the thighs. That's going to help start opening up the shoulder flexibility that's necessary for that shape. Right leg sweeps up and back behind you. Bend in the knees, stack right hip over left, three-legged dog. Hands are glued to the ground. Deep breath in here, reaching through with the right knee. Exhale, tiger pose. Knee comes in towards nose, rounding in the spine. Roll onto the tiptoes of the left foot. Shoulders come up over wrists. Right foot steps up between the hands. Sweep the arms up overhead for our high lunge. And then chest comes forward like thunderbolt. Knee comes in towards nose. So the left knee comes in towards the nose. Bring shoulders up over hips. And float that foot down. Deep breath in here. And let it go. Cool, cool. Just bring my chat over here so I can actually see what y'all are saying. Cool. Alright, so here we are in Tadasana. So everything we just did on one side, we get to do on the other. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. And exhale, hands release down to heart center. Left knee pulls in towards the chest. Already tell I'm too close to this dresser. Left knee pulls in towards the chest for our one-legged Tadasana. As we hinge on the right hip, head comes forward, leg goes back like a seesaw. Let the head and leg counterweight one another. Flex through that foot. The toes should be facing down towards the floor. And then notice this left hip's going to want to pop up, but keep it down. So it's in alignment with the right hip. So left and right hips square to the ground. We're making a letter T with the body. Hands can be pressed in at heart center in Anjali Mudra. The breathing strong, the body strong. Crown of the head towards the front, heel towards the back. And bend in the right knee. Gently float the toes down to the ground. Nice landing. And then adjust the landing accordingly. So I usually walk my right foot a bit further to the right, just so I'm not on a balance beam. I have a little, like, at least hips distance space between. A wide, think of like a pyramid. It's wider on the bottom, that's why it's so stable. Right knee over right ankle. Left heel's pressing down and back. Back of the knees pressing up towards the sky to get a stretch here in this front left hip. Front left hip flexor as well. Left hip's pressing forward, right hip's pressing back. We inhale, arms sweep up overhead. And exhale, fingers interlace behind the head. And then just change the interlace. So if your right finger was on top, we'll bring the left index finger on top. Also, there's the option to have that back knee bent so that you have the space in the lower back rather, to get up here. So a goofy grip on the hands. It should feel a little awkward. That's okay, that's good. We're building some new pathways in the brain. Strong in the legs. And as you inhale, the chest tilts open. We press the head into the hands. The hands press back. Elbows open up using that fulcrum of the head, that leverage, that tension to our advantage. One last deep breath here. And bringing the arms back up through towards the sky. Exhale, high twist to the right. Left hand reaching forward, right hand reaching back. And then the left hand comes down to the ground, to the inside of the right foot. Right arm straight up towards the sky. So we're here in this twist. Breathing fully here. And release the other hand down to the ground. We'll heel toe the right foot over towards the left hand. And then gently release the right knee behind the right wrist. To do that, I let the foot come in towards my left hip just as much as it needs to. And then tiptoe the left foot back, back, back. Trying to bring my hips close to the ground. So I'm trying to keep my hips square to that short end of the mat. I'm going to untuck the back toes. I'm pressing into them just a bit to get my knee up off the ground and kind of put it in a more comfortable placement. Mindful not to be sitting on the right butt cheek. We're pressing the left hip down and forward as much as possible. For our proud pigeon pose, we walk the hands back. So it's a back bend here. Just to sit up straight. Shoulder blades squeeze together, deep breath in. And exhale, we wave forward. Belly, chest, head. Finding a place for the head to land, stacked fists, books, a block, the ground itself. Eko Pada Konasana, our folded pigeon pose. So on our inhales here, we just locate any positions, any places of tension. And on our exhale, it's just an invitation to release that. Like, is there a way to soften that place of tension by 10% or 5%? We'll press our hands into the ground to come back upright. Now sit down onto this right butt cheek. We're going to turn all the way around to seated with the left leg extended out and the right foot on the inside of this left thigh. Seated up nice and tall. Deep breath in. And exhale, we forward fold. So notice there's always a little back bend before the forward fold. It helps us elongate the spine and find space in the back. Exhaling, belly, chest, head. It's all reaching forward. Instead of worrying about going down, we focus on reaching forward. My heels super flexed. You can feel my calf muscle pressing into the ground, bringing the back of my knee closer to the ground without pressing down. So we never press on the knee, but we just use the actual muscles and activation of the foot and leg to bring the back of the knee closer to the earth, straightening the leg out. It's okay if your knee is like up here. It's okay if your leg doesn't bend all the way, or rather straighten all the way. So what we're working towards here. There's not really any skipping steps when it comes to flexibility, not if you want to salvage your body later on in life. So there's really just patience, repetition, and breath. So notice here, the right shoulder is going to want to pop up. Don't let it. Both shoulders the same distance from the ground. What happens is get hung up on trying to reach the foot, so cheat and let the right shoulder pop up so that the left hand can reach. But remember, it's not about the hands. Think of it more so like your nose is trying to reach the floor, your chin's trying to reach the shin, more so than your hands are trying to reach anything in particular. I'm just got like one more breath here in Janu Shirshasana. back up to seated. Right foot comes to the outside of the left knee, right hand on the ground close to your lower back, left arm sweeps up on an inhale. And exhale, we twist over to the right, hooking the elbow or hugging the knee. Use that leverage to pull the right shoulder back. I'm pressing this knee away as my chest opens towards the long side of the mat. Every inhale brings me a little bit taller, like there's a string attached to the crown of my head. And every exhale deepens the pose. Foot stays flexed on the ground. It's not big dramatic movements here, it's very subtle. You can feel it internally. Your spine, like a spiral staircase, from base to top, spiraling, twisting. Last deep breath here. We bring it back through center. Cross the legs, feet come in, drop the knees over to the left. We'll bring it back to our tabletop pose, toes tuck under, hips press up, downward facing dog. Fingers are spread wide here, let the eyes be open, gazes between the knees or between the feet. Deep breath in through the nose, side out through the mouth. Then left leg reaches up and back behind you. Bend in the left knee and stack left knee over right hip. Three-legged dog. Still my hands are glued to the ground. I don't let my right elbow bend, even though it's so tempting. Last deep breath here in three-legged dog. Exhale, tiger pose. Knee comes in towards nose, rounding the back like cat pose. Roll onto the tiptoes of the right foot, bringing shoulders up over the wrists. Left foot steps up between the hands. Space. Inhale, high lunge. Shoulders come up over the hips. Exhale, reach it forward for thunderbolt. And then knee comes in towards nose. Right knee comes in towards nose. Shoulders come up over hips. One-legged Tadasana. The right foot floats down. Deep breath in. Side out. Good work. You just got through that sequence. You're killing it. Good for you. All right, so I'm going to shake it out. Shake out all that effort. Bring a bounce to it for a lymphatic shake. So letting the shoulders rise and drop, rise and drop. And I'm just like lifting the heels up off the ground, allowing them to slam down to create this reverberation in the body. So I'm letting my arms be super floppy. Or I'm just like not really trying to control anything anymore. So we've just been really to the minute detail, controlling the body and telling it exactly what to do. And now we just kind of like shake it out, bounce it out. Just create a little like organic jiggle in it all, if you will. And now you can breathe in and out through the mouth if that's more comfortable for you. Audible sighs are invited and encouraged. So why do we lymphatic shake? It's to release tension and stress in the body. When you're a little kid and something scary happens, you tremble. And then and then probably, you know, if you were lucky, an adult came over and held you and comforted you. At some point in your life, you had to become the one that was comforting the trembling child. And so you stopped shaking. But that trauma, that fear is still in our bodies. And this is a really great way to release that without having to necessarily go back to remember exactly what it was that like triggered the fear in the first place, right? So you don't have to be thinking about bad things for this to work. We're just working on releasing the physical manifestation of fear, frustration, and anger in the body, which manifest often as like a locked jaw, tight upper back, pain in the shoulders, You name it. Well, you know, everyone has their own thing. So when you feel like stopping, just double time. So we just got another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So we're coming to our breath of joy. This is our practice of letting go. And it's a 4-part breath. It's 3 consecutive sips of air in through the nose. And a big ha out through the mouth. So it looks like this. In through the nose, arms sweep up. In through the nose, arms sweep out. In through the nose, arms sweep up. And then ha, arms sweep back. We've got 10 of those. Find space from your dressers and walls. In, ha, in, ha, in, ha, in, ha. Ha! 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 3 more if you haven't joined in yet. Now's your chance. Ha! Ha! Last one, make it count. Ha! Ha! Hand on your belly, hand on your heart, feet come nice and wide, stable stance, eyes close. Just take a moment here to see what was created. Taking your body like a snow globe and giving it a righteous shake. And now we pause to observe and see where that glitter dust settled. What has been revealed? What shows up for you when you allow yourself to take up space, to be loud? And what shows up as resistance to stop you from full participation? Whatever shows up for you, it's not right or wrong, it's not good or bad, it's just something to notice. It doesn't even mean that it's the capital T truth. It might just be what you're experiencing in this moment, this round. You can gently blink your eyes open and grab a sip of water, maybe towel off any sweat that might have started. Hi Sam, love the routine. Oh, Alex! Awesome, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're enjoying it and that it's helping you out. Gusto tenerte aquí. Okay, cool. So, we're taking a sip of water. I'm just rearranging the room a little so I can get closer to you. I had make tea today, guys. Might be why I'm tired. I'm not tired. What am I talking about? I'm always tired until I start moving, then I'm good. Okay, if you are already on the ground, stay where you are. We'll meet you there, and if you're not, we'll come down together. At the end of the mat, inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, Forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, hands come down to the ground, bending the knees deep, 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 so deep. Then you come to seated. Walk your hands back so you don't land on your tailbone. All right, great. So we're just like kind of dragging the butt a little bit to like send all that fabulous squishy part back. So your sits bones are nice and close to the ground. Hands come behind the knees. We're pulling the belly up against the thighs. I like it because it's not too intense. Yeah, I try to keep it all levels and just accessible and like give some options of what to do instead if you can't. Se parece mucho a las rutinas que hacíamos en el Kung Fu. Yeah, totally. That's why I loved so much going to your Kung Fu school in the Dominican Republic, because it was like there's so many similarities that I was like, oh, I kind of already know some of these moves. They call it something different, but yeah, I think Kung Fu and yoga like have a lot of things in common. Actually, I got an offer to work at a Kung Fu school, not as a Kung Fu teacher, but as the yoga teacher for there. So that's kind of it's kind of fun. But I had to say no. It was like not during COVID, but it was right before, and it was in Las Vegas. So I'm not moving to Las Vegas. So. Anyway, here we are. Here, hands behind the knees, belly pressed up against the thighs, and then we're gonna tilt back until we hit the third point of contact. So I have 3 points of contact, left and right sits bones, and my tailbone for Urdhva Navasana, upward facing boat pose. Do it, it will be great. I know, and I really got along well with the Kung Fu master. Like, he's amazing, but it's just, I live 4 hours away, so there's no way. I might do like a workshop once everything opens up again. Hopefully. So here we are in Urdhva Navasana, upward facing boat pose. The shins are parallel to the ground. Shoulder blades are squeezed in together, so I still have that lifted, like proud pigeon pose type posture. As long as I can, as hard as I can in this posture. Deep breath in. Exhale, release the hands out. Inhale, extend the legs a little bit more, opening up this ankle. Sustain. Open a little bit more on that next breath. That's the side. Okay, sweet. I'll definitely check it out after. And then open a bit more. Full breath here. And then completely release. Full body stretch. Arms reaching up, toes pointing out. You can give the knees a hug in and a little rock side to side. This is like really hype music. So we're just gonna... What is happening? How did this happen? How did this happen? There we go. Saying you can talk to Sagadia. Oh, Sagadia too. Oh yeah. Okay, let's definitely connect after class. I'm gonna reach out to you for that site and everything. So I'm good. Just doing some work on Twitch. Cool. So we're gonna let the knees fall over to, or rather, gently roll over to the right. Right hand lands on the left knee. Left arm opens up like the letter T, just for a reclining spinal twist. So we're bringing the shoulder down to the ground. Otherwise, the whole body's relaxed. It doesn't matter if the knees are touching. Doesn't matter if the legs are touching the ground. We just want to focus on the shoulder pressing down, left hip stacked over right hip. So we've done a bunch of twisting this week, and specifically today, so just want to drink a lot of water. Be gentle with yourself. Want some food recipes? Okay, well, I'm definitely not a nutritionist, but I definitely nerd out about nutrition books. And I love cooking, so I got some recipes, but alright, we got one more deep breath here. You might even look over this extended left arm to complete the spinal twist. Bring the knees back up through center, head back up through center. We'll release the knees over to the left. Right arm opens up like the letter T. Oh, did it drop? Oh. Going to the other side, the left hand lands on top of the, oh, did I get kicked off? My back? I'm back. Okay, cool. Right hand on top of the knee, left arm open like the letter T. Gaze is over the right fingertips. Once again, just the right shoulder is pressing down to the ground, everything else is relaxed. Supta Matsyendrasana, supine spinal twist. Head comes back through center, knees come back through center. And then just notice, is there any last movement or wiggle or twist that your body's asking for? All class we've been telling our body what to do, and now we just get to ask back. Like, is there any wiggle or twist that would feel good, that would round out your practice? Doesn't have to have a fancy yoga name. It can be literally totally made up. I'm gonna catch up on chat. No, just to get some ideas of what to eat to lose weight. Okay, so people actually come to me all the time for help losing weight, but I am not a good person to ask. Like, I literally have been skinny my entire life. So I've never lost weight on purpose in a healthy way. Does that make sense? Like, I could tell you what I eat, but what I eat is just to maintain my weight. It's not to lose weight. So I can give you some, okay, here's what, I can give you some healthy recipes, 110%. I got a bunch of healthy food. But when it comes to losing weight, I'm definitely not I'm not that useful. I'm not a good person to go to. Because I've never lost a bunch of weight because I've always, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. So last, I would just say drink more water. Anytime people are like, how do I lose weight? I'm like, I don't know, drink your body weight in water. That definitely should help. Move more, drink more water. No, that's it. I'm not gonna give any more health advice. Okay, so any more nutrition, any more weight loss advice. Let me put it that way. I guess I give health advice all class. No more weight loss advice though for me. I'll just get myself in trouble. I feel like every time I talk about weight. Alright, so legs extend down the length of the mat for our Savasana, final relaxation pose. Legs so relaxed that the feet naturally splay open to the sides, shoulders tuck under to support the chest, and arms release down by the sides. Palms face open to the sky, a symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow yourself to receive the full benefits of your effort here today. Head is neutral, gaze is up towards the sky, and the invitation is to gently close them if that's comfortable for you. If this doesn't work so hot for your lower back, you're going to have pain from laying flat because we're not using a pillow. You can bend the knees nice and deep, bring the feet to the outer edges of the mat, and drop the knees together. Lifting the hips, tuck them under to bring your lower back nice and long, pressed into the ground, and then totally relax that area of the body for broken bridge. This should relieve any lower back tension that you might feel. Otherwise, traditionally it's with the legs down long. I'm going to come up to seated to lead you in this. You stay laying down where you're most comfortable for your Savasana. Let me catch up real quick. Oh, I drink a lot of water. Yeah. I feel like most people don't drink enough water, so I'm like, if you want health advice, step 1, drink more water. Move more, drink more water. You know. Safe advice. Safe advice to give. So we'll start this practice how we did our seated grounding practice with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. So we practice Savasana so that we can integrate all that we've learned, all that we've been working on. The shoulders just stay relaxed here. So in through the nose and an audible sigh out through the mouth. And just allow your breath to continue in and out through the nose if that's available. Inviting your exhalations to become longer and deeper than your inhalations. Invite space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw hangs heavy. And the tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. A symbol of chitta vritti, monkey mind. We're just inviting that monkey to sit this one out. Nose and nostrils relax. Gently allowing air to pass through like waves lapping up to shore. And the eyes rest heavy in their sockets. Eyelids just barely touching. Space between the eyebrows broadens. As all the muscles in the forehead relax. All the muscles surrounding the ears, all their wrinkles and folds, all the way down into the ear canals. Rest. Muscles surrounding the back of the head and top of the head relax as well. The whole head rests heavy and relaxed. Throat and neck release. And the shoulders melt away. Upper arms and elbows relax. Forearms and wrists release. Palms, backs of the hands, knuckles, fingers and fingertips, whole hands alive with vibration. Whole hands alive with creative potential. Rest and integrate all that was created. All that you practice. Upper back, middle and lower back rest heavy, supported by the ground below. Chest and belly naturally rise and fall with the breath. Hips, pelvis, glutes rest heavy and relaxed. thighs and knees melt away. Lower legs and ankles relax. Heels, arches, tops of the feet, toes, whole feet relax. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Notice if in your mind, if even for just a moment, there was stillness in that inner dialogue. Notice if in your breath there's ease. Notice if in your body the places of tension have found space. The places of restlessness have found peace. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. And know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Nothing more and nothing less. Invite your inhalations to become longer and deeper than your exhalations. As fingers begin to wiggle and toes begin to curl. And every inhale brings lightness, attention to the surface, front side of the body. Head begins to rock side to side. And arms reach up overhead for a full body stretch. Let your knees bend in towards your belly and roll over to whichever side feels natural, landing in a fetal position. Fully released and fully supported by the ground below. Bring to mind any intention or dedication you set for class today, or take this opportunity to set one now. And if that intention inspires you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. With eyes still closed or gently lowered, press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. Today we worked on a series of spine resiliency, like spine opening work, back bends and lunges. The first namaste I said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste I said out loud to one another, to everyone that hold this space. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who joined me this morning. I hope you found something that serves you. Namaste, Vodi, and Swiss, and Greg, Alex on Facebook. I hope this was supportive to your day, to your life, to your morning, to your evening. And yes, thank you for sharing the tips, Bodhi. Thank you to everyone who's been tipping. And we are now that much closer to getting a crystal bowl. So now it's just a matter of like actually checking out these like spots, these like little like hippy dippy spots here in Ocean Beach, because it would be really great to support a local store instead of having to order one online, which I'm not against. Like I'm sure I can find a really great company online, but it would be dope to get one the day of and actually have it for that day, if that makes sense. So, all right, I'm gonna head out because I have conference meetings. I'm gonna be streaming all day today, guys, but just not yoga. Just sad. Oh, look, Mango's on. All right, so let's go over and raid Mango. And which is not fitness at all. Like she runs like a little cafe, a little virtual cafe. Yeah, we're raiding Miss Mango Plays. I know I love IP Tai Chi. I actually started talking to her on Instagram too. She actually has her Tai Chi school in Connecticut, not far from where I went to college. So we've been vibing about that. She's amazing. She actually makes more sense after this stream. However, I'm gonna raid Miss Mango because she is a good friend of mine and she she's very supportive. I think you guys will really like her energy. It's a little different today. Why not? It's Thursday and she's never on right now. Like I feel like I always see her at different times. So let's check her out. All right, much love from me to you guys. You are just full of Hawaii. You're just like so tropical, Swiss, today. All right, take care. I love you all. Bye, Swiss and Bodhi. You too. Have a good day.
In the beginning, it was really like that. So we have kind of like